Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Petty Cash Podcast. I'm your host today, Joseph.
I'm Charles.
Vinny, a.k.a. VCG Cosplay.
And Danny.
Hello, everyone out there. You alive? Good.
I mean, it's spooky season now, so they could be unalive.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
So we're just way too ecstatic with energy right now because this is the first time we actually sound a little professional out there.
Yes, we actually have a full professional podcast setup now.
We don't have to pause and slide the mic around.
So, Danny, with all the editing, this should definitely help.
It'll be a lot easier. Yeah.
Definitely. At least the good thing was when I was chatting with some of my friends, they said that they couldn't tell that we just had one mic and we were passing it around.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that was good, good editing on your part. But now we don't have to worry about that.
Now we just cut out the shit we don't need.
Exactly.
Or just leave it all in there, director's cut. So once you set up a
that's the
Patreon,
Patreon
and
exclusive.
Oh, dude, that's good. All right, so
Before we get started, we have a little surprise. So, back in June was our host for the day, Joe's birthday, and I had ordered him a gift, and thankfully it arrived today. So, Joe, happy birthday, buddy.
oh my god!
The
So
face
a
with that
box
voice.
with
Oh my God, I wish
eyes
everybody
has
could see
shown
this.
up.
It's a Funko Pop.
Nope.
Oh,
What?
no?
What?
Why is it in a
It's
Funko Pop box?
It's not. This
Uh-oh.
is U2's. Not sponsored by U2's, but, wouldn't mind being that.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Oh.
Now, let's see if we can take this out of the box. Okay, you're gonna have to edit this part out. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, hell yeah. There we go.
Nice.
Board James. Now, Danny, all of you guys know I'm a huge Cinemassacre fan, so any work by James Rolfe, I mean, dude, he's a freaking... This is what got me, watching YouTube pretty much during the hardest days of my life, and thank you, Danny.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. Where's your guys' gifts, huh? I'm kidding. No,
I got you a
Your
gift.
friend, no, I got you your gift. Yeah. No, yeah, I know. But no, I really appreciate this because I have this one and
And the regular AVGN one.
yeah, with the power glove and
Yep.
everything. So,
Nice.
yes,
I still need to get Markipliers.
Good luck on the aftermarket. I got mine
Oh.
when they were released.
Speaking
I'll never be able to get them.
Speaking of crazy aftermarket stuff, I was looking up the Eddie Munson pop, from Stranger Things, and
I think
it's going.
that's Target exclusive, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Target
yeah,
exclusive.
yeah. And I was going for $300-400 on eBay, and I was like, "Are you
You know what's sad?
kidding me?"
The moment those things hit the shelves at Target, it was just damn. Imagine all that. You could have just take all 10 and scalped it.
Well, the people at Hot Topic said a similar thing about the Hellfire Club shirts. When the season was getting ready to drop on Netflix, they had the shirts already in stores, and the employee I talked to said, "Oh yeah, they sat there for weeks. Then when the season dropped, they were instantly gone."
Yeah. What was great is my friend Jordy, because she works at Hot Topic, when she told me about the shirts and everything, how people were just going nuts after as soon as season 4 premiered. What was it, in April?
No, it was
Oh,
May, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right, May. Yeah, those things, they flew off the shelves, and when she said, "Hey, I have one," at the store and all that, or online, it just hit. I was like, "Yup." Click, click,
yeah.
click, click,
Well,
click, click, click.
well, I mean, you guys remember when Danny, you said, the Tempe Marketplace Hot Topic had the Hellfire shirts, and so it's I immediately drove over there after work, and as soon as I got in there, I got the last extra large, and then there was that group of adults, young adults that came in, and they were like, "Oh, Hellfire Club shirts," and yeah, remember that? And then they were like, "Oh yeah," and the girlfriend was giving her boyfriend a hard time because he was
okay, they got some back
he didn't
order
want
ones.
one, and then he changed his mind later.
Yeah, I ordered mine online, and they said it's shipping this month, so I'm just now waiting for my official Hellfire Club because I have the Funko one, just not the normal one.
Okay. How many Hellfire Club-esque shirts do you own? Do we all own, actually?
I just have the one Funko one.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
have the
I just-
Ectofire
No,
shirt.
the Ectofire one.
Oh, the
Okay.
Ectofire one.
I
Okay, yeah,
have
so
two.
technically 2. Yeah.
Okay, I have something to admit. I currently have 4.
Of course you do.
Well, I
But
mean,
this
you got
one that I'm
one.
wearing from
Yep.
T-Villain, the other official one, like large Hellfire Club shirt, and then the extra large. Because when you sent that link, I was like, yeah, okay, if it gets ruined or something like that, or just give it to somebody as a gift, yeah. And of course, the Ectofire, so 4. And I'm like, you know what? This is it. I'm done. That's enough.
Oh, yeah, so mine, it says on back order, it will ship between August 16th and the 27th.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So,
It's not too bad.
like 10-ish days to potentially wait.
No, not
Yeah.
too bad. Not too bad.
But I have it, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But so just yesterday, Hulu just released the newest film, Prey, which is supposed to be the 5th installment to the Predator series. Well, 7th film that featured the Predator. So it stars. Let's see. It's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, not related to Michelle Trachtenberg. Harriet the Spy, and the main character is Naru, played by Amber Midthunder. And I'm going to give a little synopsis. A skilled Comanche warrior protects her tribe from a highly evolved alien predator that hunts humans for sport, fighting against wilderness, dangerous colonizers, and this mysterious creature to keep her people safe. So, I know you, Charles, you watch pretty much the whole Predator series, right?
Yeah, I've watched pretty much all of them. Yeah.
All of them? Okay.
Except for Prey. I haven't seen Prey yet.
Okay, yeah. Vinny, have you ever seen the Predator movies?
I've only seen Alien vs. Predator, but not any of the other ones.
Okay. What about you, Danny?
Same.
Just Alien versus Predator?
I did a little bit of Requiem. I've wanted to watch the original one just because, like, it's such a classic.
Yeah, I mean, that one, it set the standard. Like, no, all the Arnold phrases, like, get to the chopper. Knock, knock. But, yeah, so, the little review of Prey, it was definitely better than the previous film, The Predator. And, I really love the actress in it. I thought there was going to be a bunch of, you're a woman and all that. You can't be a warrior and all that other stuff because you're not sport or anything like that. At first, it was kind of like, okay, it didn't like beat us or anything like that. Like, okay, we get it. They're not trying to hammer us like the narrative and everything. But as soon as like you get to the second half of the film, it like really, really picks up and, like the action is great, the character's great, even the scope of it for like Hulu. Like I have to say, there's a lot of projects that I heard from people who watch like any like Hulu series or movies, and they say like this one right here actually like set the bar. So if you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend watch at least Predator and Predator 2, and then watch this one.
Okay.
So for Prey, is it getting like a limited like theatrical release, or is it like, oh, we had a premiere and then it's on Hulu?
No, so the only people that ever probably saw it like theatrically were the people at San Diego Comic-Con. Like they actually had like the whole like theater, and I was like, you lucky guys.
Yeah, no
kidding. Yeah, I wish it did because I was just like, finally, we're back on the right track. But after I guess the box office bomb or like the ill-received The Predator, it just wasn't going to happen.
From like a couple years ago.
Yeah, and apparently they were like in pre-production with this one for like since 2016.
Oh wow,
So,
that far back?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
just a lot of rewrites,
That doesn't surprise me.
So what's great is a little history lesson. I'm surprised a franchise like The Predator was done like a very, very like rebellious old school way of like turning in scripts.
Wait, really?
So Jim and John Thomas, the creators of The Predator, they basically fashioned up this little work script and everything and like slipped it under the door of this Fox executive producer, Michael Levy. And he saw it. He was just like, okay, this looks good. What do you think? And it hands it off to like the next like producer, like John Davis. And he's like, okay, this is great. I think we could get Arnold. They didn't have no agent at the time, so they left like a business card with their number, and poof. Next thing you know, The Predator.
Oh wow.
can you like imagine like the easier days where you could just slip something underneath them? I'm like,
Right.
God forbid.
Nowadays, I can imagine it's like, oh, you got to set up a meeting, and then it's like, oh, you got to get in touch with this person or that person, and then after a couple of reschedules, maybe you could sit down and maybe have their attention for like 5 minutes.
What's funny is like so many people now, I mean, that would probably do something like that, and here comes the producer executive, just looks at the paper, then
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just rips that. Yeah, so it's like that was just on a whim. The guy just
Wow.
looks at it like not trash or anything, and he's just like, okay,
That is really cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
Like, I just wish like luck like that would happen for people like us, or
Right.
not people us. Just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
slip a movie idea.
It's
You'll
like,
have a new
hey.
Godzilla movie, Toho. Here you go.
This in English.
Hey, Disney, here's a script for a new live-action Buzz Lightyear.
They don't want it. A 12-page essay, all double space.
Live action light you. We ain't making it.
So,
I'll make it.
like my older brother and I, like we kind of had like a 7-film scale. Like, okay, where does this fit and all that? Him and I are kind of deciding around like the 2 and 3 range because the highest would always be the first one without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And then the lowest one is Requiem at AVP. Like I have to
Yeah,
include the
yeah.
Alien vs Predator films. I put AVP definitely above Requiem and The Predator, just
Yes.
because it was finally like I remember
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
yes.
was the time when it was like, okay, we get to see these two finally fight after Predator 2 when they had like the little
skull, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, which is better, Freddy versus Jason or
Oh,
Alien
Freddy versus
Predator?
Jason.
Oh,
Freddy
yeah.
versus Jason. But if you want me to like, what beats all the rest? Godzilla versus King Kong.
But also, to be fair, it's King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh yeah, King Kong versus Godzilla.
Actually,
When it comes to Godzilla, I will be that nerd.
Well, it's Universal Pictures King Kong versus. No,
Oh.
no,
English
yeah,
dub.
yeah. And there's no
Touche.
double ending. Damn it! Unless people could just make their
There
own.
was never a double ending.
Just do a little audio thing and be like, oh, there it is. But I mean, what delivers the gore and everything? I mean, much entertainment, replay value. I mean, yeah, the guys in suits and everything, but Freddy versus Jason, oh my gosh, just watch that. I mean, watch the teaser for that. It's funny that there was like kind of like this cringy line, like Freddy versus Jason, place your bets. Like one of the ladies, the final girl says it. And apparently when like
I think that was a line in the movie.
it was a line in the movie, and then when Quentin Tarantino saw the movie and they didn't add it in there, and he was just like, he went up to like the actress or director and was like, what the hell? Like I was waiting for that scene to happen and didn't show up. But I mean, for me, in the horror community that you have your audience that just doesn't like the movie, and some that like are just huge fans of these two titans of terror that as soon like I remember when Chris, my older brother, he came home from elementary school, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you got to see this ending and all that." And then that's when I saw like the Freddy glove pulling the Jason mask down. I was like, "Oh, when are we gonna see that?"
Yep.
Yeah, it was like, okay, wait, freaking like 10
9
years.
years, I think it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Ever since Freddy was conceived, it was like, okay, who's going to win between the two? And then after that, it started okay, we're going to have Hellraiser versus Michael Myers. We're going to have Alien versus Predator. Of course, Alien versus Predator had the Dark Horse comics. And of course, they took a lot of inspiration for
Wasn't
that.
there a comic for like Freddy versus Jason versus Ash from Evil Dead?
That was supposed to be a supposed sequel. I forget who, and they were so close to making it, but neither party was like, I'm not going to have like, my character lose or anything like that. Even though Robert Englund and whoever was playing Jason, I think it was Ken Gersinger, they were like, you know what? Ash should just be winning. The ultimate good guy beats both of us.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So I think a little cool story to tell was the first Mad Monster 2014. Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, Heather Langenkamp. Thank you to her mom for letting me, watch her. So she had a little photo op, and so for me, all the downtime, I just took my comics and all that, and I'm just reading it. And Heather Langenkamp, she actually noticed, the comic that I was reading, and she's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, this is Freddy versus Jason versus Ash 2, like the Nightmare Warriors." And she was just like, "Okay, that's interesting. I never heard about that." Well, I said to her, "Well, you're in it." She was like, "Get the hell out of here!" I'm just like, "No, you're actually in it."
Oh, cool.
So
Wow.
there's a point in the comic where she talks to a character from Dream Warriors, Dr. Neil, and I was like, "This is your dialogue, blah blah blah." I wish I had like our phones were sophisticated at the time, like just record her and like, come on, just let this be like the pitch, because I would have been fine with an animated movie of this, starting with Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
An adult animated movie.
So if this gets out, like, please, like, send it to the masses out there. As soon as I saw in front of my eyes Nancy Thompson coming back to life in front of me live, I was like, oh man, like my dimples are showing. I'm just like, I was just ecstatic and all that, but I was just like, oh my god, this is cool. But we could get to another episode of talking about versus movies.
Oh yeah.
There are so many. Or we could talk like best top 10 fights or something like that,
yeah.
or outrageous fights. So, speaking of fights, speaking of that, like Freddy vs. Jason, all those guys, monsters, Spirit Halloween just reopened. Woo! I cannot wait for that. Oh, well, wait, it is open. Duh, why did I say that? But anyway, no, there's a couple stores that open. For anyone out there, yes, the Val Vista main store open, the Val Vista and Guadalupe store open, the one over off Priest and Elliott, like right around Kyrie and all that, it opened. Was there any other places that you guys saw?
I know Vinny's location's still closed.
So there's one opening up at an old Steinmart close to me. There's one opening up at a High Health, which is weird because the High Health location was an old location that they hated. It's like this little boxed up store in the shopping center by Target. But none of them are open yet.
Okay. And no, like what's funny is that like I went into like the Val Vista main store, and I ran into like the district manager in there, and I told you guys this story last night when we were playing the Quarry, and she started giving me a tour of the place. Oh, yeah. And I was just kind of like, I had that Ron Swanson meme, I know more than you, but but she was just like walking me around and all the stuff, like the Stranger Things, the Freddy, Jason stuff. I was kind of looking more at the T-shirts, but then what also caught my eye, and I sent this to a friend, JD, and I saw like these hockey jerseys. And I was like, that's pretty funny.
Oh, they got hockey jerseys. You could be a Spirit Halloween
Kevin Smith for Halloween.
Oh, Danny, when you go to a Spirit Halloween store, take pictures. Let us see the shit.
I did the first time I went.
One photo.
I took 3.
Bull.
Look at the chat right now. I sent 3 pictures.
3 pictures.
All right, less yelling, more fighting. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Ding, 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 ding. At least our stores are open. Woo! Anyway, which products though are you guys looking forward to? Like, or that you like?
So one issue I have is they're going to sell out a lot of those Michael Myers masks because of Eddie.
Oh yeah, the Halloween 2.
The Halloween 2.
Yeah,
Halloween 2. I saw a couple.
There was a crap ton at the Val Vista and Guadalupe one.
Yeah.
So that's one I want to get. I still need to pick up a Michael Myers from the first film.
Oh, they had plenty of the first movie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What I know you picked up.
So I got from Stranger Things season 4. I got Steve's family video vest, and it comes with a name tag where you can write your own name and all the little buttons like "Ask me," "I can help."
Oh, that's
that
cool.
The vest. I'm also on the hunt for what I dubbed Scoopy Steve outfit.
Scoopy Steve?
Yeah, Scoopy Steve.
2 scoops.
His Scoops Ahoy outfit from season 3.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like the Scoops Ahoy outfit as well, but I'm probably gonna go for Argyle because I'm the
You're the Native American, so
I'm
play
the,
him.
Yes, I'm the Native American, so yes, I can rock that outfit. Yeah,
Gotta be clean and
I know I was
free
having
mind.
a chat with Hannah and Cass, and as soon as I brought that up, Cass is like, "Oh yeah, perfect." I'm like, "Thank you."
There, here's your hair again. All right, what did you find, Vinny?
So I did see the picture of the proton packs. Might pick one up because I know our friend Hannah. She wanted a proton pack. She doesn't have one, so I might help her fix one.
It's
up.
been, not gonna lie, it's a little tempting to maybe get another one and soup it up because that kit you sent in the chat, I'm like, I could buy another pack, get that kit, and make it look just spectacular.
You guys got to see the one I'm working on right now. It makes a world of difference.
I have to intervene, but I'll be like, you guys are SOL. You should have bought the Hasbro pack.
Oh, I did.
No, not you guys. Not you guys. I mean, everyone who was like, I need a pack.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Vinny's gonna have like a whole crate show up at his house.
For those little story time, so when the Hasbro Pulse Proton Pack project was being backed, we were all waiting. Okay, is this even gonna get funded? And it finally hit I think the 5,000 was the minimum.
It was
backers,
scary.
right?
It was a scary, tempting thing because you were slowly watching it climb up. I'm like, come on, go.
So then it hit the first hit the first like backing level, then the second, then the third, and then the fourth. And as soon as it hit that final tier of backing, it exploded into like what 21,000 something was the
And it was a lot.
And the person,
Yeah.
whoever's running the Plasma series, got a big fat ass paycheck. I am just saying that. It beat out the Black Series Rancor and Reva's lightsaber.
Oh, it destroyed.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. But reason we bring that up, Vinny, being the kind soul he is, he bought
Five?
5.
He bought 5 of these HasLab Proton Packs. So, and the final tier was like you get a themed crate that it comes in. And so because you got 5 of these, they're going to send like this giant ass pallet to your house.
Yeah, so basically what happened is they showed up the design of the box, and the box is literally a crate that's going to hold all the stuff you're getting with the Proton Pack. So, yeah, I'm going to have a huge shipment coming my way next
In
year.
like 6 to 8 months practically.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So if we see anybody selling on eBay and like, what's this? Like, oh wait, where you live in Arizona?
Chandler.
Chandler, yeah, it'd be like, well, that's Vinny then.
Yeah, you're looking on
People
eBay.
are already pre-selling on eBay the HasLab Proton
And they're not
Packs.
supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, because they always pull that shit.
Yeah, they always do.
But I'm going to be fair, though. Like I am selling these Proton Packs, at least 3 of them, $600 to $800 at least. Just to cover for
To
shipping.
be fair, that's fair with like the amount of stuff we're getting in the project.
Oh yeah, we're getting worth like $2,000, $3,000 worth of stuff with this Proton Pack alone.
Well, I mean, yeah, because we've got the stand, we've got Egon's book, that little like notebook
Yeah.
that he had.
The
we've
roasted
got
mini puffs.
the mini puffs, and then also there's was it slime or was it marshmallow or was
Marshmallow.
it
and then the
covering.
connector hose.
and the connector hose?
And
Yes.
For anyone who wants to look up more info on that, please just go on HasbroPulse.com with the Spangler pack.
Yes.
You'll find everything on there.
And if you go on YouTube and look up Adam Savage,
Oh, yeah, he
HasLab
looked at the
Proton Pack,
prototype.
he
Alright.
goes over the prototype.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
Sorry.
That's just the prototype. It looks that good as the prototype. I know. Can't wait for the
Have to
final
reel back.
product.
Have to reel back the
Sorry,
spirit.
sorry,
Yeah, I know.
sorry.
We thought, as soon as we get Ghostbuster items, it's like, oh, crud.
It's like, and here we go.
Okay.
Hey,
But
we're
what?
called petty cash for a reason.
Yes. If you don't know that, people watch Ghostbusters.
Exactly.
But, speaking of Ghostbusters, I mean, and Predator. I mean, all of its movies, its sequels. Let's talk about the movies, the sequels that killed the franchise.
Oh.
So, let's see.
No.
So, pick a movie franchise, Vinny, and what movie killed
Star Wars.
it? Which one? Which
Going,
movie?
going for the kill already.
Yeah, he's going in.
Wow.
The Last Jedi.
Okay. We'll stick it with that one. Let's go around the table first. Danny, which one?
Is it a sequel or just a movie that killed the franchise?
A movie that killed the franchise.
Well, I think there's only one movie in this case, but for the Dragon Ball franchise, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Okay.
Good call. That's a good one.
So, Charles, any movie?
I would have to say I'm gonna go with trying to think of one that specifically I think kind of messed things up, but I would almost say that Jurassic Park 2. Like,
Really?
'cause,
Okay.
yeah,
Good one.
Yeah, because Jurassic Park, I think standalone should have just been left. Yeah, it works. Why did we make the second one?
Money. Also, another one. There's a couple. There's 3 of them, but like, let's bring in the Batman, like a Batman franchise, starting with the Keaton era.
Yes.
Obviously, Batman and Robin. That's one.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Let's say Terminator.
Terminator 3.
Terminator 3. It
was
kind
okay.
of no. Like if here's the thing, that's one of those movies I wouldn't necessarily say killed it or anything.
No.
It probably was either Salvation or Genesis.
I love
think
Salvation.
I think it was
But
Genesis.
the nail in the coffin was
Genesis.
Dark Fate.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because I can tell that was supposed to have so many movies after that one, and it just didn't cut it with the audience.
I remember you telling me like it's not good. I've yet to see it because of that.
And spoiler alert, I mean, John Connor dies, and they don't even bother trying to freaking undo that part. So.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I know. It was like, here's your childhood. Done.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you're like, okay, it was ballsy, but it's like, okay, how do you earn it? Like, what's the payoff here?
What's the payoff?
No payoff.
Nah, like we're not gonna, go back to protect your son. It's done is done. Wait,
What, really?
What?
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine that movie. Like it starts off with that, but then the rest of the movie, they're either trying to prevent that or they're trying to find another way to bring a John Connor like figure to the.
No. I mean, so the girl that they protect is supposed to be the next John Connor.
Yeah.
But like, there's like, okay, but we're gonna like if that would have been like the last part of it, like, okay, let's go back and save him. Cool. Like, okay, that's the hint and all that. Like, we're gonna get it, but they don't. It's like, oh no,
Shitty cop out. Shitty writing. It was just stupid.
Well, and also too because it messes up the timeline. I'm like, are they trying to go for like a Terminator multiverse here or something here? Because we've got all this time travel, and then now they're throwing all these other wrinkles into it. So I'm like, what was the end result? Like what happened?
I got to give a shout out to my friend Gabriel Luna, who played the Terminator in that movie. One of the nicest guys. He's a great actor.
wait. Go back.
Excuse me.
That's your
You
cousin.
said friend?
Well, not a friend, but I met him once. I actually got to have a conversation.
Oh my
with him.
gosh,
Okay, that's not a friend.
Your friend, Vicky.
I know he's not my friend. My mistake. My bad.
Oh, my friend Gabriel Luna. We hang out like
I just
3
happen to
times
know a movie
year.
star.
Real quick, Gabriel Luna came to our convention. He saw me in my Buzz Lightyear, jumped out of his booth and table to run over to me to get a picture with me. One
Okay,
of the
that's
nicest
cool.
guys I've ever met.
That is cool. I will admit that, but it's not your friend. Just you need to pick your words better. When
every
it comes
female
to this
cosplayer.
stuff.
Remember,
I am aware of this. I hate you guys so much.
I picked on Danny enough already, so
There's like 2 episodes worth of you 3 picking on me. So.
everybody gets picked on, including me. So, okay, and this other one, another Robo. Here we go, RoboCop 3.
Oh, yes.
God, that I remember. Like family, we all rented that. It was just like, oh no, they killed the partner. Then the Robo Ninjas, the gun arm. Oh, and by the way, it's not Peter Weller. And
The RoboCop reboot too.
And that was the nail too. They had a chance, played by Rick Flag from Suicide Squad.
I actually liked him. He was really good.
He was
the
decent.
script was terrible.
The script was terrible, and when they settled in for PG-13, I was just like, oh god, yeah.
Okay, remind me, is Prey PG-13 or R?
It's R. It's
Okay,
R.
okay.
Yeah. So there's moments where they kind of like they angle it differently so they don't have to show it, but it was like it still gets its like violence and all that. You know, when it fires like the little, I mean, when a predator's weaponry, Charles, you know this, when it fires the net and the net stretches, so
yeah.
it like cuts them into like cubes
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Dude, there's like one where he has like, I don't know what is it now with like shields now, but like the predator had a shield, and there's this one instance where there's a guy and he kind of like stops like the predator's like punch or gauntlet or whatever, and he's like, hell with this, and then like the freaking shield like disperses and cuts his head like it's not a clean PG-13 kill. Like it was like, damn, that was Mortal Kombat kill right there.
Fatality.
Yeah, and I love the design of this one. It was all, it had like, you know, it was all like tribe. It had like the, you know, bone structure, you know, helmet and everything. It was cool. But when it opened the mask, okay, so you may have to see predators as well, because these guys are the super predators. Okay. They're a little larger, and like the face structure is a little different, but they still had the mandibles. So, cool thing though about it, like Aliens and Predator go way back, so way back that when Stan Winston, actually when the creators Jim and John Thomas, you know, it was always like, you know, let's joke around. It's basically like Rambo meets Alien.
Cool.
Okay.
But to go back to Aliens, Stan Winston was kind of thinking about a Rastafarian, like intergalactic warrior, and he was on a plane ride with James Cameron, right around Aliens, and James Cameron looks at like what Stan Winston was making for the movie, and he's like, you know what would be cool if you added mandibles to it. So
just a little tidbit from Jim Cameron.
Yeah. And then who would have known, like, hey, those two creatures would be awesome to fight each other. Yeah, one, like, acid blood. I mean, the perfect killing machine in space.
Sounds like elephants when they get hurt.
Yeah, and then you have the Predator. I mean, the sport champion, you know, like, always needs skulls and all that.
Right.
Yeah. Highly recommend. Both franchises, Alien, Predator, are good, and there's some movies. Oh, yeah. Those two movies. What killed that one? Alien 3 with aliens.
Yes. Alien, aliens. That's it.
And
Devil's Advocate, I actually enjoy. I haven't seen Prometheus in its entirety. I've only seen a little bit of it, but I enjoy Alien Covenant. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Alien Covenant.
I enjoy it.
And we will be accepting positions for a new podcast host.
that's what I said. It now has Nelson. I mean, this Mandela effect. I'm like, yeah, we had this before. We had this little talk before, but it's nice to like kind of go back and
Right.
Yeah.
Recap.
So no, it's good. It's good. I like how there's some movies though that like killed a franchise, but it's so weird. You need those movies that like killed it just to bring life back.
Perfect
into
example with Batman and Robin. We wouldn't have gotten the Nolan trilogy if Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, if they didn't bomb so hard, we wouldn't have gotten the Nolan trilogy.
And like the most notorious one that did it was none other than the Halloween franchise itself that got rebooted as soon as Halloween 3 Season of the Witch came out. Let's come back to Michael Myers with part 4.
Because everybody complained that it wasn't Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But what they should have done is Halloween, then Season of the Witch, then Halloween 2. That way people will be like, used to
here's
the
the
idea,
thing.
like they
the original Halloween movies were supposed to be
anthology
different
movies.
stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, I mean, what happened was that it should, I mean, even the director said it. What's his name?
Which one?
The Halloween 3 director.
Oh, John Carpenter. Oh, no, John Carpenter.
Someone Google it.
We have phones. Why don't we use them?
But I do agree, Joe. Like, it takes the shitty movies to appreciate the franchise to make a better one and not repeat the same mistakes.
Yeah, like you need, and he was the guy who
Tommy
created
Lee Wallace.
Tommy Lee Wallace, yeah, the guy who did the It movies and the Michael Myers mask. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I liked Halloween 3 for those. Like, you have to watch it. It just should have never called itself Halloween 3.
It should have Halloween, See the Witch, or just Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch, an anthology, a Halloween anthology.
There
you go. It says it in the title, and so. That you had 4, 5, 6.
The Thorn trilogy.
And
Rob
that
Zombies
killed it. And then
H2O.
off to H2O.
Awesome.
That and Resurrection killed it
awesome.
again. That's a guilty pleasure. But going off to Rob Zombie.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm sorry, freaking Busta Rhymes busting out Kung Fu against Michael Myers is absolutely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but you're never gonna have that again.
Nope.
sadly.
So then it got remade to Rob Zombie's one, and then
I
Part
don't
2.
mind watching Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie. I just can't watch it too often just because it's so much. It's so much.
I mean, I liked it. I assume, like the first half where he's in the sanitarium, or so when he's in the institution, that's like the best part of the movie. As soon as it like retreads everything from like the original, it's like I've seen this before.
Oh yeah,
But,
Danny Trejo was in that movie too.
That was good to you, Mikey.
Now, see, the funny thing is that I actually got into Halloween and Michael Myers because of the first Rob Zombie movie. So if it wasn't for
It's
that,
not. So it's not bad. It's
No.
not bad. If you want a different take on it, go watch it. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes like the silent slashers with like Friday the 13th. I know people are like aren't fans of like the Friday the 13th.
I like
with with the guy from Supernatural. Yeah, it was good. I'm like, what did you expect? Oh, Jason Voorhees can't run.
Why not?
Why not?
If you haven't watched part 3, part 2, he did. But yeah, I mean, you get away. The only one that you couldn't like redo or remake. Yeah, Leatherface has a couple, Nightmare.
Haven't they done a Texas Chainsaw remake already?
They remake, rebooted that also, and what's weird is like it's so messed up. They're so like this is a sequel or this one doesn't count. Nightmare on Elm Street is a perfect one.
That remake wasn't great.
The Saw series.
Saw
really screwed
hasn't
up.
been technically rebooted, surprisingly.
Well, technically, yes, it was with that recent one with Chris Rock. What was it called?
Spiral.
Yeah.
Spiral from the Book of Saw. You could almost say that was an anthology, or like it's a copycat killer that was inspired by.
But after
Jigsaw.
the third movie, it got too repetitive, and it just
It was mainly there for the kills. Like,
Yeah.
and all the fans of the Saw movies, not the dog on them or anything, but it was just like, okay, this is what they crave for. But John Kramer, Tobin Bell, he's, I don't know. After the third movie, I mean, I'm glad they kept him dead because I was like, please tell me he doesn't come back. Please tell me he doesn't come back. So,
the
oops,
first one.
spoiler alert. But those are good movies, but I stopped right after 3 because I've been hearing from friends like the story is just like, So
I kind of enjoy the 1 through 6 or 1 through Saw 3D. I think my favorite might be either 2, 3. Honestly, like any of them between 2 and 5. Even the first one is fantastic, but like the story, how they lay it out between Saw 2 and Saw 5, I enjoy.
yeah, part 1 and 2. I mean, 1 was like whoa,
Yeah.
and then 2. The reason why I like part 1 and 2 is because the Conjuring director or the guy who
James
created
Wan.
James Wan, Aquaman. He did 1 and 2, and there was a nice little twist with Marky Mark's brother at the very end of part 2. So yeah, and then because Amanda, so again, spoiler alert, she's the killer in Dead by Daylight.
Gasp.
I always forget that's her as the Jigsaw killer in Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah,
I know. I always
Oh
forget
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And people are like, well, we want John Kramer and all that. I mean, we should. I mean, his face is scary enough.
Hello, Danny. I want to play a game.
Well, there's also another series too, Paranormal Activity.
I
So
haven't watched them.
you haven't? Oh man, at least watch like the first one for sure. The second one was pretty good. As well. The third one was okay, but after the third, like it started going off the rails. And like I was just looking here because I've collected most of them except for the latest one, which apparently came out last year.
Oh yeah, I think it's on Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah, Next of Kin. So I didn't even know that they were doing that. Okay, so after the third film, it just went downhill because we've got Paranormal Activity 4, the marked ones, Ghost Dimension, and then Next of Kin, which I didn't even know Next of Kin was coming out. I've watched 4, the marked ones, and Ghost Dimension. They were okay, but I feel like it's just kind of gone off the rails at this point now. if you're gonna watch one, watch the first. Watch the first, the second, maybe the third if you're curious. But after that, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Next of Kin, but I'll watch it just because I,
You've
like
watched the series.
I've watched the series so far. Yeah, but and then let's see another one. Have you guys seen Tremors?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tremors.
yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, as much as I love the Tremors series, like it completely. I know it's already nuts already, but it goes completely off the rails in like a couple of the other ones. Like there was one Back to Perfection, which was kind of like the
Oh god,
prequel.
the part 3. Yeah.
And when
That one with the ass blasters.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that was.
it was the fourth. The fourth one
yeah.
was Back to Perfection because the first one was the Graboids, and then the second one was the Shriekers, and then the third one was the Ass Blasters, and then fourth I want to say was
Legend Begins. It
Oh,
was
the Legend Begins. Okay, yeah. But yeah, so that one, and with that one personally, I think it's like you watch the first 3, you're pretty good. Granted, I've watched all of them. I have them in my collection, and I love the series to death. Yeah, but those are those ones where it's like you could have, yeah, you could have ended it.
So this is what nearly took me off about the Tremors franchise when Kevin Bacon did a pilot. I don't know if it's released or anything for sci-fi,
Shield.
and then it stopped. It was like, what? He was like a big actor and all that. He's coming back to this, and sci-fi was like, no, we're not going to pick up after this.
I think that the pilot has been released at that point.
Yeah, I think so. I need to look at it, but it was just like, are you insane and all that? Like, it's Kevin Bacon and all that. Like, I want to see what happened to his character because he was so riding high that they couldn't even do part 2, like with him and all that.
Yeah.
So, part 2 is definitely. I think that's where it ended for me. I didn't watch 3 or I saw part of Legend Begins and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's eye rolling.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about like the Transformers franchise? Did that even
Okay.
when did it stop being
Hold on to your
actually
butts.
good?
The 4th.
I think I stopped watching after the 3rd one, and I barely remember the
after-
second one.
To be honest, it's like watch Bumblebee, and that's all you really need.
Okay,
That's
so
Bumblebee
I
and Transformers. The
the first
one.
one.
For me,
very
I
first
describe
one, yeah.
Bumblebee like this. Like normally, like you'll have action movies, and then there'll be like character moments, like some really good script writing with like character dialogue. I describe Bumblebee as a character piece with action in it. Because like we're following Haley Steinfeld and then Bumblebee, how he technically comes to be in the
Yeah, he becomes the Camaro, or
Yeah.
he's a Beetle. No, he does become.
He started as a Beetle,
He
then
started as a
like,
Beetle,
turns into
and
the
then he
Camaro.
becomes the
77
the old school Camaro.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I like how when that movie was released, people were like, "Is this kind of a prequel to Transformers?" In a way,
Yes and no.
It is and it isn't.
it's a pseudo one, and the thing is, it's because it doesn't really align well with the Bayformers. So when you watch this, it was a soft reboot without even telling you, and I think that was actually the first movie with Justice Smith. Was he in that? No, not that one. No, not him.
No, I think he is Jurassic World Dominion and or Detective Pikachu was the first one I remember with him being in.
Okay, yeah, Jurassic. Yeah, that was the one I first saw that guy. Yeah. But if I had to say like Transformer wise, it immediately ended after Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah,
The
third
one that
no, the second one.
The second one.
That's the second one, yeah.
The reason why I could not stand that, I'm going to say that, stand that fucking roommate. Like when they're in the car and he's like
that annoying.
about to like all constipated in the backseat, and he just starts yelling like a Riri, and I'm like, shut up, just shoot him.
Yeah, that movie went through a lot of problems during that time.
I remember like seeing the first one and liking it. I've seen it multiple times, but I maybe seen the second one 2 or 3 times, and I think I've only seen the third one like once.
Seen them all plenty of times.
Of course you have.
I'm a Transformers fan.
I know.
Well, it seemed like they started playing too much on the toilet humor and body humor sort of shit.
Like the
I'm
second
right under the
one,
enemy's
Revenge of the
scrotum.
Fallen, the perfect example of that. I forget. I think it's like 2/3 into the movie, we have that giant Decepticon that like sucks up the sand.
Devastator.
Oh, yeah. Devastator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and John Turturro's character, and I think the roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
John
roommate. But
Turturro and the roommate character, they're like hiding behind this like piece of metal that isn't getting sucked up. And at one point, you see like 2 wrecking balls. Like, oh,
I'm right under the enemy's scrotum.
Yeah.
like okay, we've
And-
reached that point.
Yeah, and didn't they also have like their dogs humping at one point at the start
Yep.
of the film or something like
Yep.
that? And then
Possibly.
also
Oh
when
yeah,
they
Sam Witwicky's parents.
Yeah.
and all that. They were becoming like, ugh. Like,
yeah,
All right.
and then when the little piece of the spark dropped and it transformed all of their
Technology.
appliances into
Oh,
like
yeah.
mini robots.
And then Bumblebee had to come in and destroy them all.
Right. One of them had like a big, Johnson, and it was like he was shooting with it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the dick
three-
missiles.
Yeah, even the 360 or something like that. And,
Oh yeah. Didn't they also have like a Mountain Dew?
It was a Mountain Dew
okay,
product
Mountain
placement.
Dew.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the first Transformers movie, when the all spark drops, it turns on the Mountain Dew machine, the Xbox, a steering wheel. Those 3 were in the first films. The other ones with the dick joke and all that shit was in the second.
Well, yeah. Okay.
But
But to be fair, I think all those like original Bayformers had just crap tons of product placement in them.
Oh yeah, of course. Now my biggest problem with the Transformers franchise was that they would focus way too much time on the human element and not enough on the Transformers element.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
those first 2 had a fairly shared amount of
Oh, yeah.
like Transformers and human screen.
Yeah, the first one for sure. Second one, yeah, there was a little bit of fairness there, but then when it got to the third, the fourth, and the fifth, especially the
Isn't
fucking
there like
fifth,
6 of them in the original like
There's
Bayformers?
5.
Well, and another thing
yeah,
too was
there's
is
5.
that why I prefer Bumblebee over those other ones is because you could actually tell the shape of the Transformers in Bumblebee. Like they look like they're more classic designs.
Like they're
and you
they're
could tell-
G1
version
design.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
they look
G1,
like they're G1
yeah.
designs. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with complexity in a character design, but it felt like it was needlessly over busy just to be like, ooh, alien. Why?
Okay, so here's one thing I will defend on that. With the first Transformers movie, we always saw the characters as boxy, transforming robots. The first Michael Bay movie set the tone that because they are aliens, they are going to shapeshift, they are going to transform. And it changed not only the way they look, but the way the toys work and everything in between. And the designs just got better. Now, I will say, for the hero characters, sharp edges don't work. That's why Bumblebee was so much more successful, because when you saw the heroes, they had much more rounder, softer shapes to show that they are the hero characters. The villains have much more sharper shapes, so you could tell bad guys, good guys.
Well, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but like for instance, what was it? The second one or the third one where there was that big fight with Optimus Prime and he was in the forest?
The second one.
Okay,
Second one.
Okay, thank you.
Where he dies again.
Where he dies again. Yes.
Damn
And
you, Bay.
Perfect example is whenever the like Optimus was wrestling with, I can't remember which ones were in the fight, but when he
There's
was
like 3 of them. In
there's
the fight
3 of
total.
them, yeah.
It was
But
the
when-
helicopter, it was Starscream, it was Megatron.
Okay.
Really?
So
That was all of them? There's 4 of them?
There was about 3 to 4 of them, yeah.
yeah, it was a kind of a one-sided
Starscream, Megatron, and I think it was a handicap 2 against 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, yeah. So, but whenever they're like tumbling and like, they grapple each other and whatever, it becomes kind of like this mess where you almost can't really tell where one robot is versus the other.
Well,
And so
especially like since they all have like certain markings, like okay, Optimus Prime has the blue and red, the flame
flames,
truck.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Megatron is solely like the gunmetal.
The
silver.
gunmetal,
Yeah.
Starscream has maybe like blacks and
No, but it
Yeah,
is
a
true.
little
It's
bit.
just junk metal, and sparks, and you're kind of like,
But like to my point, like once they start like scraping Optimus and like he starts losing the color, you start losing track of who's
Yeah.
who.
like,
Right.
yeah, that's what I said. That's basically like shrapnel and like sparks, and you're like, what? Huh?
yeah.
And so again, going back to Bumblebee, the nice part was you could actually tell who the characters were by color scheme, by looks, by voice. And one cool thing about the Bumblebee movie is that the actress Haley, she actually had an animatronic Bumblebee to react to. She had something to look at on set. The actors for the original Bay movies had a pole with a tennis ball.
Tennis ball, yeah.
That is it. And it's like you're losing
what they're visualizing, and
You're
they have to
losing
sit there.
the actor immersion. is
Yeah.
what you're losing.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I mean, because I think what they ended up doing something along the lines of that for the Sonic the Hedgehog movies,
Yep.
where they
Oh,
actually
yeah, they had a
had
stand-in.
They had
They
an
had
actual
little stand-in
stand-in.
plushies.
Yeah, they're like little statue things. Yeah,
Same thing with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it gives the actors something to play off of. Now, I get it that they're professionals and they should be able to act regardless of whether they have a reference or not.
But speaking from an actor's standpoint, it's so much better to interact with something that's in front of you instead of like, okay, there's supposed to be something there, and we
Yeah.
just gotta roll with empty space.
Right.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
What's funny is like going. With those Transformer movies, I do have to give Part 3 a little bit of light because they destroy Chicago, and I don't know. You had the Josh Duhamel coming back, but also the character, the main baddie, I
Sentinel
forgot.
Prime.
Sentinel Prime was played by none other than Leonard Nimoy, and that was one of his
Nice.
last.
That's
that was
right.
I mean, he basically came back from Transformers the movie as Galvatron,
Yeah.
but just to play Sentinel Prime, and it's just like, okay, it's Spock and all that.
His voice was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And speaking, I mean, we're all into this Paramount, residence now. Let's go through like another franchise. So, I mean, with Leonard Nimoy, Star Trek.
Oh yes.
The first movie bombed motion picture.
Oh yeah.
Rewatched that one. That
Star
was,
Trek: The Motion Picture is just a reunion movie.
It's just like, okay, look, here's the new Enterprise refit and all that. Dun, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum.
Which
and
the
it's
Next
like,
Generation theme is just that.
Yeah. With Jerry Goldsmith's theme. Also, repurposed with Next Gen. And then they hit the mother load. They hit it like with the gold bomb with Wrath of Khan.
Khan.
And then it went on to Search for Spock, and Voyage Home,
Voyage Home.
which is the trilogy. That's the real trilogy. Don't count motion picture, but of course another one that killed it, kind of harmed it, was
Final Frontier.
Final Frontier, where they
Final
try to
Frontier.
find God.
Yep.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
boy.
Why does God need a starship?
How about Indiana Jones?
Oh, dude, then yeah, definitely Kingdom of the Crystal
Yeah.
Skull.
Oh yeah.
I saw that in theaters when I was a kid.
I am sorry.
I barely
Well, we
remember.
weren't even like. I mean, what is it? Like Last Crusade came out like 89.
90. I thought it was Last
89.
Crusade was like 90 or 91.
89. So that was 89 was like the
We sold those toys and they barely left the shelf.
Oh yeah.
When I was working at Give Me Toys, we had the Indiana Jones toys.
But man,
Yeah.
I remember just being a little kid and like how popular like the original Indiana Jones stuff was, and it just like all the kids in
Because
school
89
were
was the
talking
battle of
about
the
it.
franchises.
We all wanted to be Indiana
Like
Jones.
Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
the
because Indiana Jones was like the
Ghostbusters,
cool
and,
guy,
they all got beat by
just wearing the
Batman.
hat, the whip, and the gun.
Yeah.
It's just being an architect, or
Yeah.
not architect.
Archaeologist.
archaeologist. Thank you.
Architect. He's an architect.
Sorry, my brain's on job search right now. I'm looking up construction and house working jobs.
You gotta focus on the
but-
podcast, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Riri. But going back with Star Trek, Undiscovered Country, that's a good
Love
one.
that one.
But then they had to like revamp it because the characters are getting old. Now on to Generations. First Contact,
that
First
one.
Contact,
Insurrection, and then
Insurrection.
what killed it, Nemesis.
Nemesis. Yeah.
And then they rebooted into the Kelvin timeline.
Love
Right.
those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are good.
Basically, I've never seen any of the Next Generation movies. I've seen snippets of them, but I've never sat down and watched any of them after Undiscovered Country.
Yeah,
before.
no, they were really good. Generations is neat. If you could like withstand some of the the stuff about Captain Kirk showing up at the very end. First Contact is the best one of the Next Generation. Insurrection is like and Nemesis was like okay. So and then of course Picard and all that. Hopefully it gives them the nice send off for.
This season 3 is going to be the last one, right?
Yep, that's it. That's it for the Next Gen crew.
And then we have currently Discovery going, and then Strange New Worlds,
And then
which will lead into the original series.
Yeah.
And
Strange
then-
New Worlds was definitely better. Check that one out.
I need to watch both.
Yeah. You definitely need to watch both because Pike comes in from
Oh.
Discovery into Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
And then of course we've got the parody Lower Decks,
Lower Decks, yeah.
which I freaking love.
I'm sorry. The fact that when it was initially coming out, it was being sold as, it's the Rick and Morty Star Trek.
What's funny is it's not really a parody because now Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks are going to be together. Like they're going to have,
I think they're having a
Oh.
crossover event. Yeah.
yeah. So we don't know if if they're going to be animated or one that's going to show up live action. So
And I keep
we'll have to see.
forgetting, Huey is in Lower Decks. Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid, yeah. And his dad.
Everything right
His
now.
dad is Scotty from the Kelvin timeline. Simon Pegg.
Wait, what?
Huh? Simon Pegg, his dad in The Boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
For a second.
So much. You're like, oh, what is it? Which is which? So, wait. With Star Trek, they were planning on rebooting it, but, I mean...
I don't think they're rebooting it. They're trying to get a fourth Kelvin timeline movie off the ground. And at the moment, it does have a December 2023 release date. They're still trying to lock down the cast. But it sounds like they're all up for it.
And, I don't know what it is, though. And, before... This isn't a movie that hasn't... Well, it's actually being rebooted from that terrible first Dungeons & Dragons attempt. But for some reason, perfect segue into... Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. For some reason, whenever I see Chris Pine, it's Captain Kirk.
Yeah. And then watch at the end of that film, it's going to be like, it's going to be like, all right, in program. And it was a holodeck.
It's a secret Star Trek film all this time.
Son of a bitch.
Captain Kirk, how was your seminar?
Fine, Spock, fine.
Like, did D20 just drop out of your pocket? No.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a dungeon master.
Get down!
Oh, man. So, yeah. I was going to say, there's so many movies. I mean, ranging from horror, sci-fi, action, comedy, adventure. I know there's one particular movie franchise we left out with Ghostbusters, but again,
We all know.
we all know.
Yeah,
we
all
know
know.
which one did. It's part 2, damn it.
Hey, wait a minute.
Sadly, because
But anyway, this about wraps it up for this episode. For today's host, I'm Joe.
I'm Charles.
Vinny.
And Danny.
And we are the Petty Cash Podcast. So slow down, chew your food.